Is that how you do it?
I don't think we need to do that.
All right, so.
Sorry, guys. We're new at this.
What are we doing?
Well, we heard a few people have asked us. It's beyond me, but they said, why don't you guys do a podcast? And I'm like, well, why would I do that? And like, why wouldn't you do that? I was like, touche.
We've been told to do a vlog, so I feel like this is kind of the closest thing we can do to a vlog.
Yeah.
I don't think we have time to do vlogs, but we've started going on Instagram Live, and that's been really fun. But let's rewind. Let's figure out who we are. Who are we?
That's my rewind noise.
This is my husband, Myles.
Hey, guys. I'm Myles.
No, you were just supposed to say, this is my wife, Dee.
Oh, and this is my wife,
We are
Dee.
Myles and Dee McCluskey, and we are the pastors of the Freedom House in Prosper, Texas, North Dallas.
Best church in the world.
Best church ever.
Best people. Man.
It is a brand new baby church. We have started completely different than any other church that at least I've known of.
Yeah.
We've been in ministry for 10 years together. We've both been in ministry before that as well. And we can give you a little background, but we've been through some church planning boot camps and all this stuff, and I don't feel like we've done hardly anything the way that a lot of people have. But God has called us to do something really different. So let's give a little history of us so people know who they're talking to. Oh, you're not talking, but we're talking to you.
We're talking to you.
Then we can explain what our future holds.
Oh, goodness. Well, in West Philadelphia, I was born and raised.
It's true.
Legit. Till I was about 10 years old, moved to Florida. Dee's always been in Florida her whole life, Florida girl. And when I moved to Florida, I was in 5th grade. And Dee was in 8th grade.
Wow.
Well, threw that out there real quick. I won't tell you how old I am, though. I'm 33. So I get there at 5th grade. Dee's in 8th grade. And then, so we're only there. We don't know each other. She's probably standing a foot taller than me at this time.
100%.
My
How
AOL
tall were you in
username.
5th grade?
What?
How tall were you?
5th grade? 4'1.5".
I was.
I mean, goodness
5'7".
gracious. Yikes.
So yeah.
Well, we can't all have everything, babe. Anyways, we're in there for 1 year together. So then we go to high school. She's a senior by the time I'm a freshman. Again, only 1 year. We go to UCF in Orlando for school. She's a senior. I'm a freshman. We basically just kept missing each other. So we didn't meet until I was about maybe I was just 18 years old.
I was 20. We were friends for a long time.
Yeah, friends for quite a few years. And got together when I was preparing to go to China to be a missionary.
I was getting ready to go to Australia.
Just the typical story of how people get together.
Just
They're dating
live abroad.
Dating for 4 months, and then we were separated for 7 months to do long distance relationship. I was in China, she was in Australia, so there was like a 3-hour time difference, so that was fun. We were
long
apart.
distance is not fun.
No, it's not, especially when you live in China and the Skype.
The Wi-Fi.
That's how we dated, Skype.
Yeah.
We did Skype dates. I would watch a movie and eat some food, and we would Skype each other, and then I would freeze. Like, most of the time in the middle of a fight, we would freeze, and we were like, no, Anyways, so then we were there for about 7 months, and the next moment I saw her, proposed. Thank God she said yes, because if you did that all the way in Thailand, wow.
Yeah.
There's not much I can do after that.
It'd be a long 2 weeks if I would have said no. So then
I would have left you at the airport.
Okay, bye. So then we came back to America about a month after that. We said, where should we live? And we decided on Orlando, Florida, because a lot of our friends were there. We went to college there, and got plugged into a church there, helped launch a church there, became the worship pastor, the youth pastors, did a lot of stuff there. And
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Being a youth pastor was like the greatest thing ever. And then last March of 2020, this prophetic word came over our life that we were going to have a ministry of deliverance.
Oh, yeah.
And that we were going to be shepherds of our own house.
Deliverance.
And then COVID hit. And so we just kind of went into survival mode. But the Lord really started putting Dallas on our hearts in like September of 2020.
Yeah. By September, we knew it was Dallas. It was
Yeah.
Done deal.
Yeah, but like the Lord gave Myles a vision of a building that's actually in downtown Dallas, without ever seeing the skyline. And then what's really funny is that building replicates our logo of Freedom House like identically. So it's just like a funny little tie there.
Yeah.
And then the confirmation started getting just really crazy, where people just with no knowledge of anything in our hearts were saying like, you're gonna go plant a church in Dallas, and we're like, what? And then the Lord just opened like really, really crazy doors to get here. So literally by May 1st, 2021, we moved into this house, which is a miracle in itself. We can share all the confirmations and miracles later. We'll have to have a whole miracle podcast.
We've prayed over many doors with these hands.
A lot of doors.
And God's opened a lot.
Yeah. And we just felt this urgency to really come to Dallas and awaken the sleeping giant.
Better preach, girl. Just go.
No.
Just go.
No, but and it's funny because we got here May 1st and we were just so urgent and we were so excited to start the Freedom House. And again, every church planning training would tell you like, do it this way, X, Y, and Z. And 3 weeks later, we're like, let's have a house church. And
we did it like RBS.
Yeah, we went all out of order, but it was exactly God's order. And we had our first house church with 30 people, and we're like, okay, let's do it again next month. And then we had our first big service, September 11th.
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah, man.
And so it's been a whirlwind. But share just the heart of our church and Freedom House and what we're doing here.
You know what's funny is every time we get to share the vision of Freedom House, people are like, oh my gosh, like, how did you get that vision? And as much as I want to be like, Angel Gabriel opened up the heavens and he said, I have a message from our dear Lord and Savior. No, over the last 8 months or so and past year, all through 2020, I think when the world went on lockdown, the Lord just started speaking to us. And I just started reading the Bible as if I've never seen church before. And if I've never seen what a church service or a church team or ministry team or whatever should look like. And I started to see God's heart for his church and why the church was created in the first place after Jesus left. And he just started making it very clear. Number one, you have to fall in love with Jesus. Like everything that you're even going to do in life, it has to stem from that. It's why he created us in the first place, was literally because he loved us. And then from there, when you love Jesus, if you're dealing with any kind of struggles or battles, or if you have been in bondage to sin or generational curses or sickness or whatever it might be, I believe and know with all my heart that the Lord wants to set us free from those things. So the first one is love Jesus. The second one is actually a consequence of falling in love with Jesus, is he'll set you free from everything you need to be set free from. And then after you've been set free, you need to go and help other people get set free. So if you love people, you'll spend time with them. You'll hear about their lives, even their beliefs. And we have been diving in deeper with people lately. We don't take the surface level answers of, oh yeah, I go to church. Even our daughter, 7 years old, Adeline, she goes to her class and she's like, hey, what do you believe in Jesus? And kids will answer her and they'll be like, well, I go to church. And she'll be like, no, I didn't ask you that.
Do you love Jesus?
Do you love Jesus? Do you know him?
We're like, oh.
And you know what? That's what the Lord has sent us here to ask people who have been in church their whole lives. And honestly, we're asking anybody that question. If you've been in church for a long time, most of your life, you need to be asked the question every once in a while, are you in love with Jesus?
Yeah.
You don't have to ask them, do you have fruit in your life? Because if you love Jesus, then you probably will have fruit. Because if you love him, you'll obey his commands. That's what Jesus taught us. So the last thing after loving people and discipling them, one-on-one time with them and helping them find out, who this Jesus is in their life, we have to bring freedom. We can't just find it for ourselves. We have to go bring it. And we believe that our church, and it's not just going to be the Freedom House, but we believe for our church in this house, that we are supposed to raise up and send out 100 apostles, 100 prophets, 100 evangelists, 100 pastors, and 100 teachers. It's the fivefold ministry that we were given to equip the saints for the work of the ministry. So we want to send out 500 people. really think you could think of it as 100 different teams.
Yeah.
To go reach every state and every nation. We need to have a strategy to go and reach the unreached people groups of this world, and our unreached neighbors who we just assumed had the opportunity to hear the full gospel. They've heard the name Jesus, but it doesn't mean they've got the gospel of Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's what we feel is the vision of For Freedom House.
Yeah. Love Jesus, find freedom, love people, bring freedom. And in the midst of that, just being a truly Holy Spirit filled church.
Yeah.
Truly discipling people, sitting down with people, hearing their hearts, getting in the Word together, raising up disciples like the Lord told us to do. And we've already gotten to start doing that, and it's just been the most rewarding and fun thing ever. But we don't want to be, and I don't think we are, the cookie cutter church.
We're not.
The church that fits in this little box, or the church that you know what you're going to get. We're
more like a cinnamon roll than a cookie.
Ooh.
You got to like unravel us a little bit, and all the good stuff's like right in the
middle.
Anyways.
Cinnamon church, whatever. So
that doesn't
anyway,
sound like a good name for a church.
Trying, I know.
We are a church to house sinners. So that they can be led back to Jesus.
I didn't even think of that. Like,
Church of Sinners is a sinner church.
Anyway, so I don't know where we just went, but for me, I think the heart for the podcast is, well, we're having like, we have our services on Sunday nights, which is really great, and then we have our big services once a month. Freedom nights. And so we don't get to, well, I guess now we do get to be together every single week, but we just like community, and we like talking, and we just like connecting with people. And so we want to try something. I can't make any promises because I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to try to hit a couple things all at the same time. And as we record our podcast, we want to be live on Instagram and TikTok, to interact with like our people and people that have gotten connected to us through social media. And, just talk, like just share what God's putting on our hearts, what God is speaking right now for our nation, for our world. Talk about marriage, have like really vulnerable, godly kingdom conversations. And just to have a place to really like get real, but honestly, like a spirit-led podcast.
I love it. That's the truth. Well, that's what it's going to be.
I feel like that's all we
I'm sure there are a few out there doing it, and we are going to be one of them as well.
Yeah. I'm sure we didn't like create the whatever.
We did.
We
created the Spirit-Led Podcast.
No, but
SLP coming at you.
Yeah, but just know like we'll pop on. Hey guys, we're just popping on, and not really have like an agenda per se, but just really share what God's been speaking, and God's been speaking a lot. If you're not hearing from the Lord, I would ask you to clean your ears out. Spiritual ears. What's crazy is like you get so accustomed to church services and going to church and doing it your whole life and all that stuff, and even as a preacher, like you're used to spending time in the Word and preparing a message to deliver it one time a week. And everything, it's like all your eggs are in one basket. It's that Sunday morning type situation or whatever. But what's happening for us and a lot of our team is they're hearing these crazy things from the Lord, these visions and dreams. And, I'm hearing of guys meeting up and the Lord's dropping the same exact word for all of them. And we want these podcasts to be a place where we can just come and say, hey, we just want to like drop these spiritual bombs that the Lord has been dropping on us, and just share them, And it could be a place of confirmation too. Oh yeah. If the Lord's speaking something to you. Yeah. And to come here and just share, and I'm excited. Me too. This could be a huge train wreck, or it could work out and it could be kind of fun. This sounds really morbid, but if there was a train about to wreck, you'd probably still watch it. I'm so sorry. I would pray for that there be no people. Cargo. Just cargo. Not my Amazon deliveries or nothing, but just cargo. But you'd still watch it. But also, hopefully, this will not be a train wreck. But watch and find out. Yeah. Because it could be. So we're about to do our very first episode. It could be our very last episode. No, I'm just kidding.
It's the pilot and the crash.
Right.
Okay.
But anyway.
We'll see.
Follow us at The Freedom House on Instagram and thefreedomhouse.church on TikTok. Yeah. And come and chat with us and talk with us and let's see what happens.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Thursday nights. Who knows what time? When you see us go live on Instagram,
I don't know what time. It's when our kids go to sleep.
That's what's happening. Yes. And if you hear one of them come out, or if they walk down there behind the stairs, just go with it. It's spirit-led.
It's spirit-led, and it's children.
And they're having dreams most of the time. Unfortunately, they haven't been good. They wake up and run to our bed, but it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
there's train wreck number 1 for you.
Here we go. Signing off. Should we have a sign off?
Beep boop boom.
This is Dee and Myles.
Signing off.
Read your Bible.